Bang. There we go. Test, test, test. I think. Alright, I guess that's fine. It's just a little loud. Bang, bang. Whoa! Damn, that's loud. Alright, but if I'm talking this level. Alright, talking, testing. Bring this level up. Let's have it around there. Alright, cool. Alright, great. Alright. I'm gonna redo this. Let's have something new for this one. Okay. Buddy. Oh. No. Alright. Let's can I change color? There we go. Let's I want black, but I actually want like slightly more grey. There we go. There we go, that's good. That's high quality. I'm actually eating some dark chocolate right now. Brilliant. Get that timer sorted. I'm gonna get a mouse. There we go. Alright, we'll do big. And yellow is fine, but I kind of want to get the same sort of color as the writing on the screen here. Welcome, Rojo. Saying welcome to me. I'm saying welcome to you. Welcome to the stream, bro. Oh, I wonder if this works outside. I wish it worked outside, eh? So sick. Don't know what the point of that is, but it's cool. Oh, I've got an idea. Submit your songs in the chat. So we're going to write it about here so that... Okay, so S... U... This is not easy. I don't want you judging this, okay? I am aware that it doesn't look very good. But hey, it's flavorful. And, you know, sort of unique, so... That's important. Submit. We're getting there, hang on. Submit. Alright, you're here. I think I've got enough space. Look at that. If I do that, will that fix it? I feel like it should. Yeah, there we go. That's how I imagine dubstep's penmanship would look like if it had hands. Interesting. So, I mean, you say this. It makes me feel like maybe the brand colors... Not brand colors. I mean, these are my brand colors. It makes me feel like maybe my sort of album art and shit should have this sort of font. Is that what you're telling me? I'll do it if that's what you're telling me. If you feel like that's, you know, that's congruent, I'll do it. Because that's what it sounds like you're telling me right now. That one's a good U. Look at that. That's the best one. Let me see if I can... It's because I'm putting in too much effort now. I don't want to be putting in this much effort into it. I am telling you. Alright, hey. I'm gonna have to. I'm working on my album art right this very second. Welcome, Hello Stitches. Welcome to the stream. If you've got a song that you want to submit, brother, go ahead. Can I send my music in chat? Yeah, you can send your music in chat. What are you doing? Why are you putting it in the chat? Why did you paste it in the chat? I'm serious. Why did you paste it in the chat? That doesn't make sense. Yeah. All right. Let's go. What up, Jack Spades? Welcome to the stream, big dog. All right. Let's review. Stitch. Hella Stitches. All right. Lilo and slash or Stitch. Ikuta, heads up, par, Jack of Spades, sir, hashtag SoundCloud. Bro got everything in here, huh? Bro pressed the share button. I don't even know where the share button. Oh, it's private, so I can't share it, huh? Interesting. Bro pressed the share button of it. Okay. Hella Stitches. Listen. This better not be fucking rap, you little dickhead. This better not be rap. I swear, because if it's rap, this is cool. If this is rap, I'm gonna be very disappointed. If you start the fucking song off with something dumb like yeah, or like even worse, if you say yeah and then and then say something what you're doing, right? Classic raps, basic as fuck. I'm gonna say that right off the bat as song feedback. If you do that, it's basic as fuck. I've not listened to this, obviously. Get owned, liberal. It's experimental, a bit off rap influence. Okay, cool. I like experimental. All right, let's. I'm gonna listen to it and give you really in-depth feedback. Okay. Okay, the vocals are not very nice. I think they're slightly distorted. I think the mixdown that you've done on the vocals isn't very good. Okay. Lyrics is not my strongest part. Don't worry, I'm not judging the lyrics, brother. Fuck! Okay, look. Stop doing so much distortion. You've got too much distortion on the bass. Oh, I like distorted bass. Oh, that's the vibe. It's fucking bad, yeah? So what you want to do is try to make sure that the sub-bass, at the very least, is clean, yeah? So what that means is separate your bass from your sub-bass and have a sub-bass that's nice and clean, just a simple sine wave, and then do whatever the fuck you want to do with the rest of the bass, but have an EQ cut at around 80 hertz, right? 90 hertz, 70 hertz. Who gives a shit? Not me. But have a clean cut so that bass is not interfering with the sub bass, so you're not going to get such a fucking disgusting sound. I only have a sub bass in this. Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. Brother, tell me you can hear this. This is too distorted. Yeah, you've pushed everything to past its limit. This is not an enjoyable listening experience. I'd rather eat dark chocolate than listen to this. That's what I'm doing right now. Okay, my advice is really simple because it's really difficult for me to hear the rest of the song. Fucking do less distortion. This is way too much distortion. I'm going to move forward because this is painful to listen to. And I hope you put in less distortion. A little bit of fun there, using your own, whatever the fuck it's called. you know. But all right, cool. I'm hoping that that was valuable feedback, though. You do need to really do significantly less distortion. Jack of Spades, are you here, brother? Jack of Spades. If you're not here, I'm not going to play your song. I'll wait until he's back. Let's see what the Twitch icon looks like. Twitch icon. Okay, let me see if I can recreate that. Shit. I could probably do that. Thick line, sure. I had to step away, but you're back. Alright, cool. So we're listening to Jack of Spades' song, Heads Up My Own Arsehole. Let's have a listen. No. There is no way for you to send an MP3 to me, just only SoundCloud uploads, preferably, and then YouTube if you have to. But you can send private links like Jack of Spades has done. Okay, look, so far it's really quite good. So you've got sample delay on the melody, the intro melody, which is really good. And that intro melody is repeating, so it stays stuck in people's heads, which is really good. You introduced a new element, which was mono, and then you've got some ping pong delay on it. Yeah, so far it's really good. The vocals will make the track easier to sit through. Don't sweat it. It's not ping pong delay. This is the intro melody. That's what I'm talking about. And that's got sample delay, that's got stereo delay on it. Yeah, and that's why it feels super wide, because one sample is slightly slower than the other one in each ear. And then this sound comes in. That's got the ping pong delay on. 2 different takes, actually. Gotcha, even better. I love that. Love that. You're playing it so beautifully and so almost identical from both takes that I can't even tell. You know what I mean? So that's really, really fucking good. Obviously, the waveform's going to be different no matter what you do. I don't think it's even possible for a human to do it perfectly. But brother, it sounds so good. Wait, did you rename my track? I never wrote that. What the fuck? No, I didn't. How can I rename it? It's private. This track is private. I don't know how to. I can't rename tracks. I'm not even signed in. This isn't even my account. I have Alzheimer's, apparently, clearly. I thought you said there was going to be lyrics. Where'd the lyrics go, bro? Am I mistaken? You said the vocals will make the track easier to sit through soon. Okay. Okay, well look. This is an unfinished track, and so in terms of mixdown, there's not really too much I can talk about. Yeah? But that being said, the mixdown is clean. Yeah? The mixdown is clean. The mixdown definitely does the job. The melody is good. I quite like it, to be honest with you. I quite like it. Yeah. I wanted the instrumental to be great. Gotcha. It is good, but I think it really depends on the vocals, how the vocals go as well, right? Because you need interaction between the vocal and the melody, and I don't know what that interaction's going to be like or what it'll sound like, if that makes sense. Yeah. The acoustics on my vocals had to be re-recorded because the vocals were recorded in a big room, the acoustics were off. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, fair enough. There we go, bang. Isn't this beautiful? Alright, yeah, heads up my own arsehole. Yeah, it's a good song. It's a good song. You can see that the mixdown's not done, you can see that the mastering's not done, but the levels are good. Everything is clean. It sort of tells the story with the sort of thing, but like I said, I need to be able to hear the whole thing so I can really judge it, right? Because right now, the guitars don't do anything special. There is no call and response. There is no ear candy. You know what I mean? So unless in the vocals we've got in which case that would be the call and response, in which case the da-da-da would be the ear candy. You know what I mean? But if it's going to be, standard and there's not going to be any ear candy, in which case maybe you need to be thinking about that. But as a song on its own, it is obviously, it's boring because there is no ear candy. And I'm not really quite sure of the structure as well. I mean, even just looking at this, it looks like this is a really long intro. Where is the chorus? Where is the verses? And if this is the verse and then it repeats, then it needs to actually repeat. It needs to be melodically identical each verse. What do you mean it needs mastering? It's like minus 10 LUFS. Oh yeah, I guess you meant finished song. Yeah, this is of course not a finished song. I'm on the fence, Lim Lam Bam. What are you on the fence about, Broho? Yeah, I mean, look, needs true peak at -1 max. Ideally, yeah, go on then. But I mean, it depends on your genre. I'll be honest with you. In terms of mastering, I'm not 100% sure what you sort of need for this specific genre, because this isn't exactly metal. It's not something that you want to be pushing into the limits of how heavy and loud and aggressive you can go. You're looking for dynamics, and that's exactly what you've got here. Yeah. Whereas with, like, sort of, for example, like EDM or dubstep or drum and bass, you want to be pushing it to its limits. You want to be getting not even -10. Get fucking, if you can get positive LUFS, you know what I mean? Who gives a shit? Push it. You don't need dynamics in EDM a lot of the time. On the fence about submitting a song? Do it, bro. I've got nothing else to do. It is good, eh? I'm fucking sick of drawing, man. I want to thicken this out a bit. Because it's actually supposed to be really quite thick. Look at that thickening, man. Brilliant. And just for safety, I'll thicken this out a little bit as well. There we go. A little rough around the edges, but it's very clear it's Twitter. I mean, oh shit. What the fuck is it called? Twitch. Love that. What happens if I press this button? Ah. That's what happens if I press that button. God damn. What happens if I press this button? Okay. What the fuck? Alright, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what these buttons are doing. Okay, what happens if I press this button? Nothing. Nothing happens if I press this. What about this button? Okay. What? Okay. Sure. Submit your songs. Sure. I kind of liked what I had going on, but it's gone now, I guess. Oh shit, what the fuck is going on? Oh my god. This isn't me. Kinda cool, eh? I'll let it do its thing. Alright, fuck it. I like it. I'm picking up what it's putting down. Rose says, I don't really do producing, you know. I do beat matching, aka versus mashups. And you give tech feedback on production, and I'm not really a producer. Very true. Very true. That's fair enough. This is absolutely amazing. Let's change the colors here. Brilliant. Oh yeah. We're getting into something really good here. How do I send a song? Funny, Swag Costello. Funny. To be honest, I should have it written down here, but this is just doing its own sort of thing. Yeah, it's got a mind of its own. What happens if I take the mouse away? Yeah, it's still just doing its own thing, huh? Yeah. Crazy, eh? Yeah, if you got a song that you want to be submitting, go ahead, brother. Oh, multi-user. Wow. Head tracker. Sketchy. Discord. Wow. Render history as GIF. History. Okay, this is absolutely not helpful. Press escape. I hear that works. Escape did not do anything. How do I... No, okay. No. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get a nice grey and get a nice yellow. And we're going to... Excuse me, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening? What is happening? What am I? Am I broken? What is happening? All right, I'm gonna have to refresh. I mean, this is all yellow for some reason. All right. There we go. It's too big right now. Let's make this smaller. Or do we not? Okay. And I think it might be helpful if I open up Ableton just in case I need to give sort of examples of what to do in terms of sound design and whatnot. Alright, so I'm going to write it here because we've got a sort of invisible line here. This is where the text goes when people talk in the chat. If I had anybody talking in the chat, that's where it would go. We're going to do it with this, and I'll write it in yellow. Right there we go. This is significantly uglier than it was before. Oh, it was so good before. I've grown significantly less patient. That's what the problem is. Well, that's not going to work. That will. We'll have to. I am not good at doing this with a mouse. There we go, bang, 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 bang. Submit your songs, and go on then, I've practiced this, I can do this. We'll have Twitch here, bang, 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 and like that. And then we'll grab that, grab this, make it smaller. There we go, give it eyes. Bang, bang, give it one of these, bang, 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 bang. These are equals, it'll make sense soon. Oh, there's already one for that. Didn't realize I could just do it like that. That's simple. Bang. That was quick. And this will say submit songs in chat. Make that nice and big. Submit songs in link in description. I feel like this is quite straightforward, clear, easy to read. Anybody could understand this. Anybody. There's nobody that wouldn't be able to understand it, unless they can't speak English, in which case they probably wouldn't understand this, understandably. And I ran out of dark chocolate. Damn. Alright, let's get some hearts going. Just show that we are a... God, this side looks so good and this side is just so... shit. That's actually a lot better. Aye. We don't worry about it. What's up, Brennan? Hey, what up, bro? How's it going? Welcome to the stream, big dog. Do you produce music? I can't remember if you're here from the Minecraft streams or if you're here from the music streams. How you doing, bro? What's new? I'm an artist and producer. What do you mean by artist? As in... Yeah, what do you... I mean, there's no other sort of... What do you mean by artist? Whoops. I'm doing good. How your day going? It's closing in on the end of the day actually. It's 6:30 p.m. So my day's been quite good though. R&B artist, gotcha. And you submitted a song, haven't you? I think I listened to one of your tracks, didn't I? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if you want to submit more, you're more than welcome to, bro. You'd be the first in the queue. Alright, cool. Let's go. Thank you for submitting. Just a song I made with 3 friends messing around. Cute. That is very cute. I'll load it up. And I'm glad that it's SoundCloud as well. That's always convenient. Oops. Played it already. I don't know if you could hear that. Okay, rather very good. All right, you've submitted it. All right, great. I've got it here. Brendan Cooper, lovely. Bulk Silk, Black Sack, Bulk Silk, Black Silk, which would make sense because the background is Black Silk. Okay. Patiently, Black Silk, me and the pals fucking around with anal fun. Sure. All right. We'll have a listen, and I'm gonna give you in-depth feedback, bro. Yeah. You didn't put the anal part? I mean, it looks like you did though, doesn't it?
Baby, on the move, I'm watching it, I just fall down. Baby, on the move, I'm watching it, I just fall down.
When you said fall down, the layers made a little bit of distortion. Maybe there's too much compression on it. I'm not quite sure. Have a listen.
I just fall down. Sticking, I'm on the move, I'm watching it while you pass out. Try not to decide whether or not it's important. Testing is harder if I ring the.
Right off the bat, though, I really do like the vibe. I like how it is. It's clearly quite creative, and I really quite like that. The drums and whatnot, very creative, really well put together.
Would you give it? Would you give it? I've been patiently watching.
And the drums moving around the stereo space, I like that you don't have everything just like mono or whatever the fuck. It is moving around quite nicely, which is really, really good. Not Joe Farwick asks, "Hey man, how are you?" I'm good, bro. How are you? I hope you're doing well. If you got a song you want to submit, you're more than welcome to. Can I show you a song? I'm a self-produced artist, doing great. Of course you may. I'm a self-produced artist. Aren't all artists self-produced? Or do you think somebody else... Well, I guess their mothers produce them, right? I've added you to the list, bro. If you... subscribers get fast-tracked through the queue, so you're welcome to subscribe, and then I'll do your song immediately next. Most artists do have producers. I see what you mean. To me, because I'm a producer and I don't sing or anything, you know what I mean? And so to me, a producer is the artist. But that we just come from different areas, that's why. You're right, I see what you mean. Really unique kick drum. It's like a real kick drum sort of thing, because it's very it's got that bass kick from like a drum kit, you know what I mean? It's so like teetering on being distorted, that kick drum, but it's not. It is just about still clean. I really like it. I really like it, to be honest, but I mean, from this waveform, you can see that you could probably push it louder if you wanted to, in which case I don't know how that's going to fare with a kick drum in terms of distortion and muddiness. I mean, for a song that's just fucking around with your pals with anal fun, it's really good, bro. This vocal is about a bit out, though. I don't know if it was recorded at a different time or in a different way or anything like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm glad you're noticing the subtle things. Yeah, that's me, man. Hey, Ethan, welcome to the stream. Guys, do you want to say hi to Ethan? Because he said hi, guys. So I think he's saying hi to everybody else as well. Yeah, this one guy's vocals, maybe it was recorded at a different time with a different microphone. I don't know, but it is different, and it doesn't really fit with everything else. The main vocals is so much cleaner, and then this one kind of feels like it's maybe even far away from the microphone. This guy. A little different from my normal stuff. Yeah, oh yeah. Are you submitting the song, Ethan? Okay, so here's my feedback. Yeah, to be honest with you, the mixdown is relatively clean. That one vocal is a bit out. You know what I mean? We all live in different states. Gotcha. So that's what it is. Different microphone, different person, different recording studio, different everything, right? And so it doesn't really quite fit. And maybe you could probably fix that if he gave you, or whoever is the singer on this, the main singer, if they gave you the raw vocals and you did the exact same processing on his vocals, then it would fit much better. Yeah, so instead of just him doing his own processing on it, his own mix down on it, if whoever's vocals these are, because they all fit, goes with this guy. Yeah. Because it's not only is it quieter, but it's perceived as quieter is the main thing, right? And that's no one wants that. You know what I mean? It ruins the flow of the song, and it's not fair for that one individual who's got a quiet voice when he's, it's supposed to be a main element, right? One other thing that I would like to address that I think is worth being aware. I know that it's just you and the pals fucking around with Anal Fun, but in terms of structure, I don't really understand it. If someone wanted to sing along, I don't really know where the chorus is. If there is a chorus, you need to make it stand out more. If there isn't a chorus, you need a chorus, right? Or some sort of hook, something that repeats, something that gets stuck in the listener's head. I am aware that maybe that's not the idea of this. The whole point is just you and the pals fucking around with Anal Fun. I see what you mean. Awesome. Great. Okay, great. Yeah, I think that's my feedback for this one. Really, really good song in general, though, and in terms of creativity, fantastic. Ethan says, submitting, yeah. Work in progress. All right, I'll add it to the list. We've got Joe Farwick up next, but that's only if Joe Farwick isn't too far. Wick. And he's actually here. Who is Wait Your Turn? I've got a submission from someone called Wait Your Turn. I don't actually know how to see. It was submitted 22. It was submitted today. 6:33. What? Interesting. Okay. I think that might be Rojo. I don't know. I don't know who submitted this. No, it wouldn't be Rojo because it doesn't say Rojo. Interesting. Well, I'll review this one as well because they have submitted it. They just didn't say anything in the chat, so I had no idea. Hopefully they are still here, but I can only really review it if they do say something in the chat. Otherwise, there's not really much point, to be honest with you. Not really much point. Because if I'm giving deep feedback and they're not here to receive it, what is the point of it? Say, Twin, I've got some for you. Okay, I'll say it. Twin, I've got some for you. Thanks for the follow. Let me see who's following. Thank you for the follow, Mage. Big up you, bro. I'm going to add you to the list, Mage. Just so you know, though, if you subscribe for a month or whatever, you get to skip the queue. But otherwise, yeah, you'll be at the end of the queue, but it's not a huge queue, don't you worry. Yeah, don't sweat it, dog. Okay, Joe Farwick, you said you're here, aren't you? Yeah, right here. Awesome, fantastic. All right, so Joe Farwick's song called "Far From Putting a Fist Into My Arsehole." I feel like it should be called "Into My Own Arsehole" because I feel like that would make more sense. Anyway, we're gonna have a listen to your song, and I'll give you in-depth feedback. 4 minutes 26. You are. All right, let's go. Let's go, Joe. Okay, right off the bat, the idea is really, really fucking fantastic. I like how you got harmonies going on. It's very, very pretty. Yeah, the concept is really brilliant. I've got one problem whereby one of the and also what I really like is in between the vocals, you've got absolute pure silence, which is very, very nice. There's not background noise or anything like that. It is clean as fuck. But when you brought in one of these samples, you didn't do a fade in, and you started it pretty much on top of one of the samples. What that means is there's a little clicking sound. Thanks for the follow. Have a listen to that clicking sound. Are you ready for it? Did you hear that? It's subtle as fuck. Please tell me you understand what I mean. Yeah, you got a little clicking sound? Yeah, so that clicking sound is because you've started one of your vocals, I presume, in your harmony as that, right? So, for example, I agree, you get it. All right, cool. I don't need to give you an example. Let's go. So that's feedback that you need to be fixing. Okay, the synth underneath, again, you need to add some release time, or if it's a sample, you need to add a fade out, because once again, you got a clicking sound at the end of that synth. Have a listen again. Did you hear that clicking sound? That's simply because you don't have long enough release. So for example, if I were to go ahead and get let's not do a sawtooth wave because it's not the easiest to hear, but if we do a sine wave, we don't have any clicking sounds, which is really, really convenient. But if I were to bring the release down, whenever I let go, you get a clicking sound. That's because the release is too short. If I were to increase this release to 5 milliseconds or longer, we will no longer have that clicking sound. So, clicking sound, because it's under 5. If I bring that up to literally perfectly on 5, we shouldn't have a clicking sound anymore. That's literally the lower limit. If you increase it more, you're going to have it even more smooth, yeah? So that's what I'd recommend for your synth right there, bro. Increase that release time because you're getting a clicking sound. Nick, just want to chill. Alim, is it still okay to submit? Absolutely it is, brother. Just put it in the chat, big dog. Ooh, bro's got distortion. I quite like it. I like so far, look, the creativity is really fucking awesome, bro. Really teetering the line between sort of distortion, like overload. Keeping it under control is the main sort of thing, but I think you're doing it on purpose as a creative choice, and I think that's fine. What I will say, though, is you could get more sub-bass here, yeah? So maybe separate your synth from the sub-bass, so just go ahead and get an EQ. If you've got an EQ8, then that's great. For this example, I'm going to use a square wave. Disgusting. There we go. Okay, so for this example, I'm going to use a square wave. What I need you to do is do a sharp cut about there. Remove that sub bass from that bass that you've added, and then add another synth doing the exact same notes with the exact same envelope, the exact same shape, and bring that to a sine wave so that it is just motherfucking sub bass. Yeah, this shit. Because right here, you don't have enough sub bass. You can get more sub bass there. Yeets, Nick says. All right, great. Let me add that to the queue. Hold up, one sec. Okay, great. I'm glad that you're finding value in this. So it looks like just from the shape of this that you've done the mix down, you've done the mastering. The hi-hats are at a good level, but that kick drum can be more punchy, yeah? So literally just add saturation. What I would recommend is, so for example, if we've got a kick, let me just grab a random fucking kick for you. And it's not going to sound the nicest, but it's going to be a random... There's going to be a random kick, all right? So right here we've got ourselves a kick. All you need to do is add some saturation. If you've got a saturator, then great. If you've got distortion, then just use that. Compression is better. A clipper would be really good. Saturation or a clipper. Sorry, my head's in the way. Let me just remove my fucking face. So if you've got a DC offset option, definitely do it because you're doing something with low frequencies. Kick drums, basses, you want a DC offset anyway, and soft clip because why the fuck not? And then I'm just going to loop it and have a listen to it as I increase the drive. We're going to find the absolute limit. You can hear where it's distorting right now, and then we're just going to dial it down. Right there is the absolute limit, roughly. So this is without, with. Slightly more punchy, right? And then what you could do, if you want to push it even further, you add an EQ and just increase the highs. Have a listen. Using just your ears. Now this, I'm not a huge fan of this kick. It's a bit of a tail, but it depends on what song you're doing. Now one other thing that you could do, and I absolutely implore you to do it, is, and I really mean this one is super fucking important, take one of your bells and duck it somewhere between 100 to, call it 500 hertz. Duck it around there, and you're going to find that you can push the saturator a lot more. And this information goes not just for kick drums, but for every fucking bass synth. If you want to get fucking more powerful synths, because you've got a bass in this song, you can make that more powerful by doing this. Yeah, so I'm going to sharpen the cue of that a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this playing and find where it's getting a little muddy. So for me, it's around here, and now I can push the drive even more. Actually, it's all the way down there. But there we go. I've pushed it an extra 2 decibels, and we've got it even louder. So this is, I'm just going to group it and turn it off. This is it without, with. Much more powerful, and there's still a little bit of mud, but you know how to fix that, okay? So that's what I'd recommend as well, because that kick is not as powerful as it could be, considering we've just had a beautiful intro. We're feeling something's going to happen, and something does happen, but that something just doesn't have as much impact as it absolutely could. Do you have sidechain compression onto that kick? You could still get the bass more loud, and so you could get the sub bass more powerful, so do the split like I suggested, and the bass that you've got, the low frequencies are a little too stereo. So if you're using Ableton, what I'd recommend is go over to utility, just do bass mono down here, and then choose it, you listen to it, and have the frequency, move it around until those. I'd say it's somewhere between 100 to 200 hertz is too stereo. So you're just going to have a listen and find where you can make it a little more mono. It is sidechained, great. I can feel that in my anthem. All my friends gone. All my friends gone. Okay, look, the idea here is absolutely fucking beautiful. You need to EQ this synth so that it is not interfering with the bass. So what that means is, say we've got 2 motherfucking basses going on. Let me just quickly just draw something really dumb in. Alright, the absolute glorious sound of that. Hang on. Okay, so this absolutely lovely, lovely, lovely melody, right? But we also have this absolutely lovely melody that I love also. Okay, so what we're going to do is EQ them separately so that they are taking up their own space. In fact, this melody is going to be slightly different, and that is why we need to EQ them so they are telling a different story each. This one is a little lower down, and I'm going to see where it's peaking. So let's pretend there is no sub bass on this, but let's say, look, it's peaking over here. So I'm just going to bring this over here and see. I can see the frequency down here. So I can see over here it is around 140 beats, 140 hertz. Does that make sense? Because I'm seeing it down here. It's around 140 hertz, right? So I'm just going to get rid of that, and then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go ahead and duck around 140 hertz. But I'm not just going to duck around 140 hertz without listening to it. I'm going to listen to it whilst having the whole thing playing and duck 140 hertz. And I'm going to make that a little sharper because that frequency that I was looking at is quite sharp. fucking disgusting. That disgusting sound is just the basses clashing, but I'm just going to give you an example, and it's not going to sound good. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't be bothered to do a full change. If I brought both of these up significantly higher octaves, that would be a better example. Okay, so we can see this is peaking over here. These ones right here. So that's 370 beats per minute. Sorry, 370 hertz. So I'm going to go over here and literally just duck around 370 hertz. Sharpen that up. Over here we've got around 220 hertz. So I'm going to go over here and 220 hertz and duck that. And these don't cover much of the spectrum, but by just doing that, you're going to give each sound its own space. You should be doing this with your vocals, with every single bass, with every single thing, and that's such a valuable thing to do with your mixdown. You don't have to do this. If you do it, your mixdowns are going to become from here to here. It's going to become so much more clean. It's not... And I really need you to understand this. We're not boosting any frequencies. We are ducking frequencies, yeah? They say production is reduction. We're reducing frequencies where it was harsh, where it's peaking out for others, so we're not overlapping anything too drastically. By the way, I'm fully releasing a song next week. Ethan, I'm so excited. I hope to see it and hear it. Right, create space for everything, absolutely. So not just in EQing and in frequencies, but in actual space as well, if you can, right? So right there, that guitar is slightly to the right, which is really fucking good because it's got its own space. And as we move on, we should have the hi-hats really fucking wide. We should have the kick and the snare relatively mono, but the kick definitely very mono, the bass very mono. And as we go up in frequency, it should be more and more wide. Thanks for the follow. As we go up in frequency, it should be more and more wide, right? And if you can get the two synths at different varies of wideness or different spaces around the headspace, that'll be great. A vocal is such a main thing that we can't really have that to the side unless it's just really fucking wide, in which case you don't want to overdo it anyway. So you don't want to have that slightly to the side. But that guitar, if it's just a lick or some ear candy or anything like that, you can have that slightly to the side and that's going to give it a nice flavor. I know the Beatles used to do that all the time and that was one of the things that helped them stand out so much. I'm Viota, sorry. Thank you for submitting. I've added you to the list. By the way, if you subscribe, then you get to skip the queue. Okay, right there. So one, the bass is too wide. Also, it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, you've got two different notes doing the bass, and that's causing a little bit of disruption in terms of frequency. So because basses are so low frequency, we've got such slow waves, right? So in fact, I can draw this out. That's why I made some space over here. So we've got ourselves two really slow waves. So call this wave 1, and this is wave 2, and all of a sudden you can see that we've got interference here. So when this is going up, this is going down, and it's going to equal. Hang on. So it's going to equal here. So this has gone up, this has gone down, that's going to be there, then that's going to be there, that's going to be about back to here, that's going to be down drastically because they're both going down there, and then they go both flat and then both up. So you can see this is the end result that you're getting, and this is 1, weaker. The amplitude of this is smaller, and 2, fucking disgusting. So what you want to do is not do that shit. Essentially, just don't fucking do that shit, yeah? So all you've got to do to not do that shit is, hang on, let me see if I could just remove all of this crap from here. Well, that was just ineffective, wasn't it? But that should be effective. There we go. So all you got to do is just have one note playing, yeah? I know there are not a lot of frequency points in the low spectrum. Yeah, gotcha. I have a mid bass and a sub bass, and I think right there they overlay gotcha. And so that's causing that distortion, that not so nice sound. Oh, sorry, someone has submitted something. One moment. Let me add Teddy Merrin. Thanks for submitting. I'll add you to the queue, but just know that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people before you, bro. And I'm only reviewing people who are talking in the chat. So far, if you disappear from here, I'm not going to review your song. So make sure you're talking in the chat. Teddy Merron's still in the chat. Great. So I will be reviewing you as long as you stay in this little section here. Yeah? Also, if you subscribe, then you jump the queue, okay? All right, let me get back to this. Okay, yeah, look, in terms of structure, it's really good. It's very clear where the chorus is, and that is the chorus, which is really, really fucking good. In terms of composition, it's really, really fucking good. There was just a few little mix down things that need to be happening. And over here, we've got a little sound that I'm not sure what it is. Have a listen and focus on the left side. It's like a slight clicking sound, maybe a hi-hatty sort of sound, but it's not a hi-hat. It's just out of place. And I'm not sure if it's a clicking from, synths being cut short or whatever the fuck. Have a listen, and maybe that's something that needs addressing. Have a listen. Did you hear that? Have a listen again. Right there. Have a listen again. It could be that sound. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, it's very, very subtle, and it needs removing. So, it could be part of the percussion stem. I'm not sure what it is, but worth addressing that one. Teddy Merrin says, no worries, I will stay, but I'm also going to different tabs to get more feedback. Is it okay if I say something on, the 5th song before mine? No. No. Stick around, please. It is fine, Teddy Merrin. I understand. You're trying to... You're using your time wisely. That's absolutely fine. I do understand, but it is fine. I would just prefer if you sort of stayed around here, and because the feedback that I'm giving to one person might be applicable to you, and I'm not going to repeat it if I've already described it before. If that makes sense, yeah. Because it's just not helpful for the stream if I'm saying the same things over and over again. Really nice use of pan automation there, moving that main synth all around as a nice little bit of instrumental. And Joe says, you learn more from this streamer than other technically, I think. I would hope so, but I've not watched any other streamers, so I can't say. But hey, listen to Joe. Joe knows his stuff. Okay, right there, you've got a cymbal smashing on the right side. That's fucking brilliant. That's exactly what you want to be doing. You want to have those cymbals and high sounds right wide. You can have them pan to the left or the right. It sounds fucking perfect. Really, really fucking good. And I like how you had the synth pan slightly to the left to give both things space. By doing those little subtle things, you're going to be able to make your mix so much more loud and more competitive in the music industry. You know how I get it when I'm lonely. That's the only time you ever hold. It's minus 5.8 LUFS. Nice. Very good. Very good. Still you don't let me, don't let go. Actually, he says he's not Joe. Gotcha. Okay, so this synth, or the guitar rather, feels too much to the right side. Yeah, it just feels like the whole thing is too much to the right side. It's uncomfortable to the right side, right? It's not wide and to the right, it's just to the right. It just sounds like it's just panned to the right. And then it just leaves the left side a little empty, especially in that frequency range. So what I would say is try to widen it out. Something that you could use, and I would really recommend this, is a plugin called Vocal Doubler, right? And as far as I'm aware, it's free. Yeah, Vocal Doubler, free. So this is what it sounds like. So this is it off, and then as we turn it on, very wide, and we can increase the variation. Right, and then here, if we pan it to the right, there we go, not too much. We're still getting information to the left, but it's still, I wouldn't recommend panning it like that. It didn't sound very good. But yeah, try Vocal Doubler so you got a little thickening to the sound. And yeah, like I said, it's free. Yeah, it has like Haas effect. It's not quite Haas. I can understand why you're thinking it's Haas. It's like Haas. It could be Haas. I don't really understand what's under the hood, but it's not just Haas. Because you're not getting the waveform issues you would get with Haas, yeah? Vocal Doubler by iZotope. That's what it's called, iZotope. Yeah? It's not quite Haas. We've got Haas, and in fact, it might be worth, I've got a few Haases, but it might be worth giving you an idea. And Haas is also not as... you can't do as many changes as you can with Vocal Doubler. So this is the minimum I could do is 0.10, but here we go. And with Haas, it also sometimes, if you have it slightly low where it feels wide, it can also feel perceived as more to one ear than the other, just because of how our ears are built, right? So when we hear something to the left, it's reaching this ear slightly slower than it's reaching this ear. And that's why when we've got slight delay with Haas, we're going to be perceiving it more to one ear, even though it's the exact same volume in both. So this is Haas at 6, perceived more to my left ear, and then this is Vocal Doubler. Both ears equally, though we are getting a phasery sort of sound as a result because of the frequency overlapping. Yeah, what I do something is making the left side duller than the right side to create separation with left-right EQ. Yeah, that's actually again another thing that when we actually perceive sounds, I think I might have actually, because I'm a fucking nerd, I might have actually made a true panning. Yeah, true panning 1 and true panning 2. And I don't want to go too much into it, but this is very, very similar to how we would actually perceive sound, right? Just like you said. So as we go more to the left, the right ear, it gets the high end more and more slightly cut out, as well as a slight more delay to the right ear. And so the left ear gets hearing it more. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. God, I'm a fucking nerd. All right. This is making me fucking sick how much of a nerd I am. But yeah, no, yeah, but that's exactly right. Yeah, that's so cool. I used the Clariphonic EQ for that. Gotcha. I literally just used the built-in EQ. I don't have any other EQs except for the Ableton EQ. I've not had a need for it yet. But so, yeah, that's what it might be. You might have literally just dulled the high end on the left ear perhaps too much, which makes it feel like exactly what I said. We're missing out frequencies on the left side. But I do like that you're experimenting and trying new stuff. That's really, really fucking good. the sidechain compression is too long for this on the kick, because what you want is more of a pump. If you can, just decrease the release, on the sidechain compression. If you can. If you can't, then I would say create a trigger track where you drag the kicks in, shorten the kicks, and then that will be, and the trigger track's off, and so that will be what is causing the compression, and then that's shorter, and so it's not so dragged out, And on top of that, you want to have sidechain compression on the bass for sure, but you can have significantly less sidechain compression on the high frequencies if you want to, because the high guitar, you don't need that much if you don't want to. There's no harm, but you really don't need to. I would recommend having some extra ear candy there as well. I don't know if you've ever done any sort of drum fills or anything anywhere, but this right here just goes from one section to this. It's very dry. There's no sweep up or anything, and I know that you've had impacts before in the song. But there isn't one here, so I feel like, a sweep up or a drum fill or both would be really fitting there. I wanted it like really intimate sounding there. Gotcha. Then have a crash, but have something that sort of or maybe here just have like a filter going down or erosion or bit crush or something, so that it's not it sounds like a mistake rather than a creative choice. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand you want it to be raw, but have something that makes it clear that it's intentional. This is so Beatles vibe in the sense that you've got the guitar on the right side and the vocals are on the left side, which is much more comfortable now that both are playing. You know what I mean? Over here, when it's just the instrumental, it's very uncomfortable. Over here, with the guitar, it's uncomfortable because it's just on one ear. But here, it's a lot more comfortable because those frequencies are being covered by the left ear now. Good idea with the crash chord. Cool. Sure. All right. Cool. So that's my feedback. I'm hoping that was valuable. Look, Joe, thank you so much for submitting it. I really appreciate it. Thank you for submitting your song, Far From Putting a Fist Into My Arsehole. Very good. Very good. Great feedback. We'll work on the points you said. Awesome. I'm glad I could be helpful to you. And I'm glad that you're talking in the chat, If you weren't talking in the chat, I would have made this a significantly shorter one, But I've got a lot of sort of feedback that I'd love to give, So I'm glad that it's not falling on deaf ears and you're actually going to be putting it into practice, and we're going to be increasing the quality of music in the world as a result, which is just really good. I think that title is quite poetic, actually. It's beautiful. I think you chose a really good title for this song. That was great, man. It was great. It was great for sure. All right, so Wait Your Turn. I don't think they're here. Just going to check. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to say something in the chat if this is you, and then we'll listen to your song if you are here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're gonzo. All right. We're going to listen to E10's song, assuming E10's still here. I'm going to give you 15 seconds to say something in the chat because I care about you very much. Starting now. 15, 14, 13, 11, 12, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nope. Sorry, E10. Kiv or Quiv. Are you still here? I'm going to give you 20 seconds. Starting now. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. All right, great. Let's go.
That Dutch, let me smoke some. Get down like Snoop on the bubble gum. I'm so fucked up, my face numb. Bust down with a rock on the bass drum. My face numb, my face numb. On the bass drum. My face numb, my face numb. On the bass drum. My face numb, my face on the bass drum. My face numb, my face numb. On the bass drum. My face numb, my face numb. 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 That Dutch, let me smoke some. Get down like Snoop.
Okay, so this little transition thing here is fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. But it stands out too much in the sense that it is perceived too loud compared to everything else, right? So here, listen to the frequencies that we've got. It's quite empty. We don't have a huge amount in the mid-range or especially in the low mids. And then we've got that, which just kind of fucking pushes you. Which the concept is fucking awesome, and I think you should absolutely keep it, but maybe have the beginning of it a little quieter so that it really sucks you in and it fits more with the vibe, if that makes sense.
Let's kick it.
Okay, so this whole thing is really loud, really powerful, but this intro, this very beginning of the drop is not loud enough. It's not as powerful as it should be. The idea is so fucking fantastic. Maybe a crash or something to really thicken it out. I'm not quite sure. What do you reckon you need to do to thicken that out to make it more perceived louder? Let me add you to the list there, buddy. Let's kick it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This song, More Lows, potentially, maybe in the build-up needs to be more quiet. Or perceived more quiet, if that makes sense. In all, look, this song is really fucking good, and the vibe is absolutely excellent, so I'm being quite picky to help give you more valuable feedback, yeah? That's why I'm being quite picky, but genuinely, this song is really quite good. Avia says you can have a quiet intro, just literally add a riser that gets louder to prepare the ears for the drop. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because you gotta remember, look, minimal exists, and I was hit. Then why the fuck didn't you say anything, E10? All right, hang on. I think I've got you somewhere. We'll listen to your song after, bro. That snare can be quieter here in this drop. It's a good level. It's not distorted or anything. It's just because it's so loud, it makes everything else perceived more quiet, which is unfortunate, right? It's hitting that sort of frequency that's sensitive for human ears anyway, so that's all it is. Will you listen now, Ish? Yeah, literally the very next song, E10, will be yours, but you gotta stick around, bro. I need to, I'm not gonna say it if you're not here, you know what I mean? You can get some more mids here, by the way. So you've got that main synth, which is peaking around here, which is fantastic, because if we're looking at our Fletcher-Munson curve or the equal loudness curve, which shows, where our ears are sensitive. Our ears are sensitive around there. So that main synth is around here, yeah? And you got that bass around here, but you don't have much around here, yeah? So I would say, yeah, thicken it out. Thicken it out. You've got the frequencies to do so. Thicken it out if you'd like. In this section. But this section is fantastic. Brother, I thought that was a fucking sound from Twitch. Brother, this is not the first time it's played, I don't think. I've heard that before in this song. I fully thought it was just like a new thing in Twitch that I'm not aware of. I'm relatively new to streaming. I thought like it was a new thing that's something... Okay, so it doesn't fit with the song. In short, it doesn't sound like it's part of the song. The idea is awesome, and I absolutely think you should keep it. Maybe you need to make it more quiet. Maybe you need to add some reverb or delay onto it to make it fit in with the mix a little bit more. Maybe you can pan it to the side slightly, just make it part of it. Maybe you pan it left, right, and it's as it slowly moves, but it's just not fitting in with the song right now. Just trying out random sounds can work on that. Awesome. That's fucking awesome that you're trying out random sounds, though. That's exactly what music is all about, experimentation. So that's absolutely beautiful that you're still doing that shit. That's so good. I mean, I do it as well. I think that's how you should be fucking making music. That's awesome. Okay, I can hear that it is actually panned to the right. Maybe have it moving around and definitely have it quieter slightly. I love how you kept it on the high end and using it pretty much as like a hi-hatty sort of percussion-y sounds there. Really creative, really fucking awesome. And I love how, you moved it around the stereo space near the ends there. There we go, right there. So that one is really fucking good. That intro to the drop. So if you had that here, because it's just too low. There's not enough power there. But then over here, you don't even have a fucking kick drum, but it's still powerful. Awesome. Yeah. So I know that you want to keep both of them different, which is absolutely fair enough. But maybe have that one here, because that's more punchy. And when people are DJing your song, they're going to be playing the first drop more frequently than the second drop. By this drop, someone might already transition out of your song. So this part is, I don't want to say less important, but it is. It's less important to the listener. Especially how a lot of listeners, they're not going to be listening to the whole song. They're going to be jumping to where the drop is, and DJs are going to be jumping to where the drop is as well. So you want to have that first intro drop to be the most powerful, most memorable part of it. Yeah? Maybe next week I'll come with something different on the intro then. Yeah. Good idea. Yeah, I mean, I love it. Experiment, try new stuff, and yeah, noted, man. Awesome, great. Okay, look, you got a decent amount of ear candy, you got a decent amount of variation. What I would recommend is having another layer somewhere, because some parts just feel too sanitized, right? So maybe add some sort of dynamics. I know it's a bad word to add dynamics in EDM songs. I get it, I'm a dubstep guy. But dynamics would be fucking good, even if it's perceived dynamics, yeah? So here is so sanitary. Here, it's just clean as fuck, and that's what the problem is.
Switch it.
This part is my favorite part. Kiv, buddy, have you sent me this song before? Brother, you sent me this song before on the 24th of September. I don't even know if I should making this whip, it was called. You sent me this already. But it does sound like you've done some changes to it. Am I on the 5th song? I don't know what song I'm on, bro. Because when I'm done with the song, I close the tab and I move on to the next one. But yeah, I don't know. Look, I've not done your song yet, Teddy. Don't worry. All right, cool. Look, my favorite part was the dubstep part, and it was definitely creative as well. Look, yeah. All right, yeah. All the feedback that I gave, I can't remember it, but I'm hoping that you do. And yeah, thank you very much for submitting that, Kiv brother. Fucking awesome, and you should make more dubstep because dubstep is the best. That part with a lot of snares was nice. Yeah, the ending. Even with a nice little bit of fucking delightful. In fact, Kiv, if it was up to me, and it's absolutely not, I would have this as the main drop because that's fucking sick. Because dubstep is just the goat. Thanks for the follow, Jonah HBK. Hey, look, we reached our follower goal. Let's go, 180. 180. Let's go. Would love to submit something, man. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, just put it in the chat, big dog. All right, man. Thanks for the 5 feedbacks, man. No problem, brother. Look. Anytime you want to submit anything more, you're more than welcome to do so, bro. More than happy to give you feedback. All right, Etan, are you still here? I'm going to give you 15 seconds to say something in the chat. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brother. Okay, you made some synth pop. Awesome. Yeah. Send it in the chat, big dog. I'll listen to it, man. I'm glad that you made the song as well, and you're not just like, rapping or singing over something and saying it's your own song. So yeah, that's something that I can absolutely give in-depth feedback on. I'm going to very, very quickly listen to Etan's song because I'm going to assume that he is here. He does this terrible habit of just not watching the live, and he might be just like 10 minutes delayed. So I'm fairly certain he will be watching and listening. So I do care about him very much, so I am going to play the song and give him feedback, okay? Well, I use a lot of loops, admittedly, but do my own writing, structure, producing, and mixing and singing. Gotcha. Okay, well, look, you use a lot of loops. Yeah, that's fine. It's still song production. That's all good, bro. And especially because I can still give you feedback on the mix down of that, and hopefully it is, pretty decent. So yeah, send it in the chat, bro, and I'll do it. Thanks for the follow, Korean Jesus. Oh, also, Jonah and everybody. If you want to skip the queue, if you subscribe, then you skip the queue and you will be up next immediately. Etan, make sure your shit is live. Yeah? You need to check your YouTube is live because I know what you're like, bro. You're so slow. How you doing, Korean Jesus? I hope you're doing good, bro. Fucking love that film. Fucking motherfucking 21 Jump Street. Sick film. And live. Hey, Etan, welcome, bro. All right, let's go. Oh, nice little distortion on the synth on the left, and it's given a little crunch when it ends. Really nice. Nice layering of the snare. I'm really glad that you're doing something electronic now as well, rather than just like jazz-based. It's nice, dubsteppy, halftime. Love it, love it, love it. I'm glad you're chilling, Korean Jesus. If you got a song that you want to submit, feel free to put it in, big dog. Okay, so here, on this little section here, we're getting a little bit of distortion on the stereo. Have a listen. Did you hear that? Distortion on the stereo. We're going to try it again. Have a listen. Now, I hate to say this, but I'm fairly certain that's actually from the bass. So it might be just too much pushing on the bass. Because it's not that main synth, because that main synth, or the repetitive synth, because that's happening slightly to the right ear, and that distortion wouldn't be happening in the stereo. And there's literally no other elements besides the drums and the bass and that main synth in the top right hand side. So yeah, it's got to be the bass, and it's kind of interesting that it's stereo at all, to be honest with you. But look, I'm Viuta loves it, and I'm Viuta. I really appreciate that you're so present in the chat. As a result, I'm going to make sure that you are next. I'm Viuta. Tell me, what is your song? What is your song called? And I'm going to make sure that you are next, because you are prevalent in the chat, which is really fucking good. Nice violins. Brother, the call and response, everything is so fucking delightful. I fucking love your songs, Etan. I love it so much. But as you can see, these peaks aren't all flat. These peaks have more headroom. You could absolutely push this mix, but we're not here for mix downs, right? Because you know you could push that with some sidechain compression underneath the kick. Did you do sidechain compression for this one? Also, yeah, we could absolutely make this whole thing much louder. You could do a lot of stuff with that, but I think you're sending it with Timothy, and he should be able to. Now you can't unhear the crackle. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, because there is a lot of crackles every time. Face Made of Sand is my song name. Let me know if you got it. I'll send it again. Yeah, I got it. I'll make sure you're next. Yeah, it's this one. I got you, bro. And sexy funk music, I got you, Avia. I've added you to the list, big dog. Also, if you want to skip the queue, if you any subscribers get to skip the queue as well. Also, I'm kind of prioritizing people that are talking in the chat the most, yeah? So I know Korean Jesus is here. He was speaking a little bit, but he's stopped now. But I can see, look, Viota is constantly present in the chat, which is really, really good. E10, once you learn to do LFOs, it's game over for the music industry. This is so dubstep coded, but once you do FM LFOs with that bass instead of just a standard trap and bass, brother, I'm so excited to hear what you come up with. This is so dubstep-like. It's so dubstep-like. It's fucking awesome, man. Welcome, Cowie. And I got your mix, Jonah. I've added it to the stream, to the thing. You said it rendered with a weird reverb at the beginning, but this is synth pop. Awesome, added it. Welcome, Cowie. This is a nice mix. I vibe with it. I also really like it. Etan is his name. He makes amazing songs. You can see him here, Etan. Amazing songs. He's releasing his first song tomorrow. So, you know, if you like this, you're going to pretty much like everything he makes. He's really fucking fantastic compositionally with his music. Amazing. And welcome, Twitch, I don't know, lol. Welcome to the stream, big dog. God damn, says Korean Jesus. Absolutely. You have to explain what you mean about LFOs. LFO is a low-frequency oscillator. So if we go over here, this is LFOs, right? So I'm going to drag this LFO onto the level. So this is going to oscillate at a low frequency. Specifically, that frequency is every quarter beat. So if I play a note, if I play a note, that is an LFO. And then a lot of people will go ahead and maybe put the LFO on a cutoff. And that's the classic dubstep sound. Alternatively, which is a really fucking awesome thing to do, you could FM it. And that's also very dubsteppy, yeah? So now I'm going to, this is what the FM sounds like as I turn it up, and then I'm just going to put the LFO on that FM. And that's... But yeah, so that. Well, sorry, I'm getting carried away. That's what an LFO is, and that's what low frequency oscillation is, brother. Goddamn, yep, W, good. So to him, absolutely huge. I've been working on some music myself recently. Bit of a different style to this, I bet. What is good? Fine chatters. Yes, Si. Welcome to the stream, brother. Welcome to the stream. And awesome, Viota. Awesome that you're still talking in the chat. This is so fucking good. I'm so excited to listen to your song right up next because you're talking so much in the chat. So good, man. Etan says, so it's kind of similar effect to sidechaining, but done differently. Yes, Etan, that is a really, really good concept. You're absolutely right. Very, very similar to sidechaining, except low frequency oscillation is different in the sense that it repeats over and over again. You can have an envelope so it happens once, but much of the time, yeah, it repeats over and over and over again, whereas sidechaining only happens when the other thing is occurring. For example, every time the kick happens, then the sidechain happens, whereas this is just happening over and over again, and sidechaining a lot of the time is only with compression or EQing or something very specific. Thanks for the follow, Carlos. Whereas LFO, you can put it on anything, such as the FM from B. What FM is frequency modulation, which means that not only is this modulating the frequency modulation, but the frequency modulation is modulating the frequency of this synth. This isn't playing out loud. This is completely silent. This synth is going through this and modulating the frequency of this by the waveform of this, which is very fucking awesome. I love dubstep. I love this sort of shit. Thanks for the follow, Steve Lord. Or Stevie Lord, and absolutely Dance Tech House. In fact, every single one of the songs that I've ever produced that has been signed to a label has unfortunately been Tech House. I say unfortunately because I fucking hate Tech House. I hate it so much. It's so easy to make. Every time I make it, it gets signed. Why? Because it's easy to make and it's dumb. But I'm more than happy to review it. Don't worry. I'm joking slightly. I made a remix of a classical song. Awesome. I hope I recognize it, but if not, I'm still very excited. I'll add that to the list. Okay, but just so you guys know, the list is about 10 songs deep right now. Okay, 10 songs deep, and I give each one in-depth feedback. So here's what you got to do. 1, if you stick around in the chat, you get priority. Yeah, so for example, the next one is Viota's song because they're constantly talking in the chat. You can see them. Korean Jesus might be up there as well because Korean Jesus is talking a lot as well, which is really fucking good. Dubstep producers hate everything non-dubstep. I'll have you know, everyone else hates dubstep. Alright? Dubstep people love almost every fucking genre. They just prefer dubstep. I just very specifically don't like tech house. Teddy Merrin is still here, just not talking in the chat very much, but that's great. I'm glad you're still here, Teddy. Everyone had songs. Gotcha. Yeah. Also, some of us actually go outside. Yeah, well, Avia, don't go outside, innit? Everyone had songs. Everyone had hard songs. So far, yeah. Good song so far, to be honest. Really, really great selection. Also, if you subscribers get to jump the queue entirely. All right, let's finish off Etan's song. Oh, Etan said, and unlike sidechaining, it can control more than just volume changes. Absolutely, but sidechaining, you can sidechain a lot of stuff, including filter stuff as well, like EQs. Yeah, you could sidechain that as well, but mainly it's done with compression. You're absolutely right. What's your favorite genre to produce? Dubstep by a mile. Nothing else touches me like dubstep. That was phrased badly. This is my own song that I've been working on, all performed and mixed by me. Awesome, still new to mixing. Great. It's a slow piano piece with vocals also done by me. Perfect. Great. I'll add it to the list, big dog. I can't do it because it's Google Drive. You need to upload it to SoundCloud or YouTube, please. Ideally SoundCloud. Alright, look, I gave you feedback, Etan. Everything I said, I stand by. Really fucking good. But aren't EQs really just volumes of frequencies? Yes, Etan, I'm not going to disagree with you. You're absolutely right. EQs are pretty much just volumes of frequencies. Yeah. Or maybe energy levels of frequencies, but yeah, I mean, energy levels then translates to, volume. So yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. All right, or set link to open for all. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, so next up, we're listening to Face Made of Sand by Vyuta. I'm assuming Vyuta is still here. You've got 10 seconds to say something in the chat, otherwise I skip it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Fantastic. All right, let's go. Okay, 1. I really like the atmosphere you've already built. I'm hoping that the whole song is congruent with this atmosphere. I like the image as well, but the atmosphere is really good. I like how it's taking its time. I like how it took like 10 seconds before the fucking notes changed. Beautiful. You don't get that very often, and it's very, very congruent and true to the vibe that it's already setting down, right? It's a very clear vibe, which is really fucking important. Really good, and I like how it's moving around the stereo space. So already it's really fucking solid start.
Losing myself, swearing away, losing myself, losing myself, losing myself, swearing away home, wishing you well. Hoping that you're happy alone.
I like that crunchy sound that you're bringing in, nice and stereo. Everything so far has got its own place, but that being said, there are like 4 elements. I think you've got low frequencies, then you've got a nice pad synth going on as well. You got the vocals, and then you got that coming in slowly stereo, which are really fucking nice. Let me catch up on the chat, hold up. Yeah, this sounds great, like some old The Weeknd, sure. Okay, I've set the link to open. It should now work. If not, I'll try again. Okay, I'll scroll up and grab that for you. This is chilled. I love it. I love it as well. Oh, Limothy's here? Where the fuck is Limothy? Oh, I'm Limothy. Obviously, I'm Limothy. I'm not Timothy. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, great. Yeah, I got you, bro. Awesome. Love that panning synth thing. Yeah, see, Vyuta, everybody's loving it so far.
Further days feel so blue when I'm without
You know what would be a good name for this song? Widowed by Suicide. Have you thought about having that as the title of the song, Vyuta?
Oh, my love falls far when it comes to you. When it comes.
Okay, when you said when it comes, maybe there's quite a few layers, I'm not quite sure, but there is a little bit of distortion on the vocals. It could be just too many frequencies of the same frequencies piling up and then compression on top of everything, just giving a little bit of distortion there. So maybe want to look into that, maybe try multiple different compressions with different ratios, different thresholds, different attacks and releases to sort of sort that out, and almost definitely just less ratio or less thresholds. How did you know that was the original name? What do you mean? I just think it would be a cool idea to have this song called Widowed by Suicide. This would be a sick opening to a DJ set, absolutely. Or when the DJ accidentally makes a song or makes a mistake, or the set crashes or the DJ deck crashes or something, and then they play this and everyone's feeling good. That was literally the original name of the song. Interesting, I had no idea. Just kidding, the URL says it. Yeah, look, the mix down of the vocals, both the vocals, all of the vocals, is so beautiful and really well mixed in, to be honest. There was just a little bit of compression there that was a bit too much. But otherwise, yeah, so far it's really fucking good, bro. If this was liquid drum and bass here, that would work so well with the song. I'm so excited to see what you've got cooking. Because right now, the whole song is very congruent with the vibe that you're setting. Really, really good. I'm hoping that vibe continues throughout the song. drums, am I right? Love that. Love that. It's so beautifully uncomfortable, distorted, really well structured, Vieta. I mean, I expected drums here. You absolutely don't need it. You are I really like the experimentation. I like the creativity more than anything. This is really, really fucking well thought out and compositionally really good. In fact, even the sort of pitch bends, what you've done on the guitar here, the pacing of everything, really, really fucking good, man. I love how the pitches just go uncomfortable and bring it back again. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Skin's hard to wear.
Lovely. Okay, so here comes the drums, and again, it's keeping to the vibe. It did lose a lot of elements, and it's become perhaps a bit abstract. Yeah. I'm not so sure it fits with the vibe so much. Let me try it again. Hold on. Yeah, it just feels a bit not right. I think maybe it might be that snare, or maybe it's too fast. I'm not quite sure what it is. Any ideas, guys, in the chat? What do you think might be going on there that's making this not quite fit?
Skin's hard to wear.
Because the kick's perfect. The kick is perfect, and the snare is slow. It is more than half time. Maybe it's just not the right snare. I'm not quite sure what it is.
When I prepare, you know how to glare. Look at me, yeah. When I counted on you, where were you when I need you?
So beautifully creative, the structure of the drum pattern, though. That slap bass just sounds fake. It does. I think it might be the slap bass, to be honest, because right here, where you feel like the snare's going to be, there's a slap bass instead.
When I prepare.
But at the same time, unless you actually have an actual bass guitar, it's not the easiest to make a real bass feeling, to be fair. It's those airy sounds. Interesting.
When I do the most, need you the most. Happy to give your way if it helps you build and grow.
I wish I could give more value by explaining what it is, but I truly cannot tell you. I'm not quite sure. All I know that it doesn't. It's not feeling right. You know, maybe a little sort of thing before the snare, like a pre-snare sound, like, you know, maybe that'll fit it in. But yeah, I wish I could give you more details to help, to be honest with you. It just doesn't work compositionally, perhaps. The whole snippet with the slap bass just needs to be cut, potentially. I wish I could tell you, but I truly can't. Hi, Clumber, how you doing, bro? Hey, Clumber, what's this you got first next to your name? What does that mean?
Me back my time. I hope I'm still on your mind. Will I ever find where you hide? And if so,
Thanks for the follow, Cowie.
you're right. Yeah, I hope you pull through.
You're the first sub. Is that what that means? Big up Clumber for being a sub. Hey, Clumber, if you submit a song because you're a sub, you get to skip the queue. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 songs in the queue right now. You skip them all. Big up. Beautiful outro. Okay, look. Okay, so Viota, all of my comments still stand. You've done a beautiful vibe here. The only issues that I could think of, because the whole song is absolutely beautiful, was a little bit of distortion on the vocals here. Right there. Could be other places as well, so you might want to just listen in and try to find that. And then something with the drums feeling a little off. I would say experiment with trying to make that glue into the mix a little more. So yeah, that's my feedback. Thank you so much for submitting it, Viota. All right, Teddy Merrin, are you still here? You got 10 seconds to say something in the chat. If you don't, then I'm going to move forward 10, 9. Oh, that was so much speed. Good work, bro. Yeah, much love, Viota. Thank you so much for submitting, and you're more than welcome to submit much more anytime you want. Is this Logic? Hang on, let me zoom in. This is not Logic. Is this motherfucking GarageBand? This is BandLab. You got BandLab going on here. Okay, interesting. Oh, that actually makes sense, because this is BandLab, of course. Okay, all right, let's have a listen. Wait, before we go in, Teddy Merrin, I must ask, what did you make of this? Because I would love to sort of break down specifically what it is that you're looking for feedback on. If that makes sense. Okay, yeah, good. Post it in the chat. Great. Gotcha right here. Getting your link. All right, you have been moved to immediately after, yeah? Thank you for subbing, big dog. Guess I am the next you are. Any feedback? Mostly mixing, I think. All right, I'll speed through it. Let's go. Right off the bat, it's too quiet, so you've not done enough mastering. I'm not sure if you've done mastering here. Big dog. Nice. I think you need to turn it up. It's on the right. Nope. I can't see it, to be honest with you. Why is it called Word of a Man Inside My Butthole? What does this mean? Sound button is on the bottom right. Oh, okay. Oh. Yep, gotcha. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. I've been through it all, take it fall, blame for shame and took the fall, mess it up all over again.
Okay, great. So your vocals are mixed relatively decent. What you need to do is boost this area right here. So you're looking at 2 to 3K, yeah? 2 to 3K, this region right here, that's what you're missing right here on your vocals. So you could boost those frequencies, or you could reduce. Hang on.
I began started at the age of 3, play with tricks.
Or you could reduce around somewhere between 100 to 500 hertz. I'm thinking probably closer to 500 hertz. If you reduce around there, that's also going to give you the same sort of effect. So reduce that, and then you could bring the entire volume up. And that's, if you look at the EQ, you're probably going to be seeing that your voice is peaking around this level right here anyway, around that 500 hertz area. Yeah, so that's about here, yeah? Your vocals are probably already peaking around there if you have a look on your EQ. So you could either boost this area here, or literally reduce the part where it's peaking, and that's going to give this part perceived loudness. And you could actually just turn the entire thing louder as well, your entire vocals, if you wanted to. And I would recommend doing so because you can. You can make the sub bass louder as well.
I really was designed to be a masterpiece of living in the world of people after me. A tragedy, no more peace in the back together, just run after me. There's no one to stand up.
You can make the hi-hats louder, but I would recommend boosting the extreme highs. You're looking at over 10K, boosting that little area right there for you, yeah? On your hi-hats.
Living who I wanna be, thinking carefully in my emotions. I've been locked inside my head too many times, but now I'm open. I'm just trusting curiosity, but yeah, I'm only hoping that you hear me out and see the best of me of who I chose. Yeah. The truth is, they never cared about you or your friends. The confidential entirety meeting to an end. Cause once you realize the lenses, there's no more chances, friend. Sit back and realize the damage is all your faults again. Damage all your faults again. Better be making a wish. Consequences leave the trenches.
You need a hook. There's no hook. This is just just like a freestyle sort of thing, which is fine if that's what you want to be doing. But if you want the song to have more appeal, you're going to need a hook, something catchy, a chorus, a hook.
But you end up in the ditch. Love democracy entirely or follow up your rich. Enter life another quality, you'll still be stuck in tricks. I've been through it all, take it fall. Live in shame and took the fall.
Is this the hook?
Mess it up all over again. Time for when new I began. Started at the age of 3. Live in shame and took the fall.
It is the hook. All right, great.
Mess it up all over the age of 3. Play with
I would recommend doing something different with the hook so that it sounds different to the rest of the song, because so far it sounds the exact same as the rest of the song. The only difference is it repeats the same words. That's the only thing about the hook, but you need to make sure that the chorus is different to the rest of the song so that it is more recognizable to the listener. So maybe have another instrument, maybe have another instrument doing different notes, another instrument doing the same notes but layered up, maybe, you know, have extra vocals or whatever. Do something different to make the chorus stand out.
trucks and Spider-Man. I never really figured out the life.
But in terms of the drums, they're really good. It's just the hi-hats need boosting a little bit if you can.
I really am stuck in time. I'm about to tell you that I'm right, cause there's a million people dying for I really am stuck in time. I'm about to really am stuck in time. I'm about to tell you.
When you said stuck in time, there is clicking going on. I think it could be mouth clicking, mouth pops. It could be plosives. Stuck in time, there is no plosives there. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but you're going to do, it's almost definitely coming from your vocals, yeah? So check the audio, check the different stems, because I know that you've got multiple layers going on there. I think maybe 2 layers. Check which one's causing the little popping sounds. Maybe it's both and compression on top of it that's causing the popping sounds. You're going to need to look into it. Have a listen to it again.
With trucks and Spider-Man, I never really figured out the life of who I really am. Stuck in time. I'm about
You hear that? Stuck in time. Have a listen again.
am stuck in time. I'm about
I don't know if it's the microphone. The rest of the microphone sounds really good. To be honest with you, don't worry too much about the microphone. Just worry more about the quality of the recording and the effort put in. I added ad-libs. Yeah. Yep.
to tell you that I'm right, cause there's a million people dying for fatal suicide. No more chances or discoveries. Dying for fatal suicide. No more chances or discoveries for fatal suicide.
When you said chances, you got to sound. That, listen.
No more chances or discoveries. No more chances or discoveries. No more chances or discoveries. No more chances or
You're going to look through the vocals again and sort that out. And it's very easy to tell where these sounds are coming from because you've only got 2 layers in this point, right? You've got the vocals and the piano. So it's not the piano, it's the vocals.
discoveries that just went out and high.
Right there with just as well, you've got the same thing.
Discoveries that just went out and high. Cause the government appreciates the rich and not the right.
Same with the rich, you've got a popping sound, have a listen.
The rich and not the right.
And there's a good chance that when you said the rich, that's actually just the release of the sound. So for example, if we were to play this sound, sorry, that's quite low, you might not hear it. Have a listen to the end of the note. It's smooth. If I bring the release down to 0, it's popping. It's got a clicking sound. Thanks for the follow. So that clicking sound is truly, chances are, just because you've not added a fade out to the vocals. So if you add a fade out and a fade in to the vocals, because right now that release is the end of the trail, but there's also the attack. If you got too short, you're going to have clicking sounds. If you increase the attack just slightly, it doesn't need to be crazy, just anything above 5 milliseconds will be fine. It's nice and smooth, and that's what you've got with the vocals. You've got a clicking sound, so you just need to do a fade in, fade out, and that'll do the same job. Okay, this is good, but you, like I said, yeah, boost the hi-hats, the high end of it. Do you have sidechain compression of the hi-hats underneath the kick and the snare? If not, you should do that, yeah? Because then you're going to be able to have it much louder. And it doesn't sound like you've added reverb to the hi-hats or anything. I would recommend adding reverb to the hi-hats, because I know that I would assume that you've just taken a sample in. The reason I know it's a sample is because when the hi-hats stop, the sound stops entirely, whereas if you had reverb, it'll still go on. Have a listen. Yeah, it's complete abrupt stopping. You don't want that. It doesn't sound very professional. So add some reverb to yourself, okay, to the hi-hats. All right, great. So that's my feedback. I can't remember everything that I said, to be honest with you. But yeah, there was just some vocal issues that you need to be sorting out. You can bring the sub louder, I think it was. Yeah, if you've got sub bass in there or any sort of bass, you can absolutely make that more powerful. No doubt about it. Yeah, clean up the vocals. Add some reverb yourself to the hi-hats. You've already got decent drums, to be honest with you. The kick and snare is fine. It's just the hi-hats need to be louder and ideally boosted at a little over 10k. Yeah, not crazy. You don't need to go fucking like that, but have a listen to it whilst listen to the rest of the song and then slowly increase it until where it sounds good. And that's what you need to be doing. All right, look, Teddy, thank you so much for submitting it, and we're going to move forward. And feel free to submit more songs in the future, brother, yeah? Okay, Cowie says, I like the feel of the song overall. Awesome. Yeah, me too. Thanks for the follow, Teddy. Thanks. Have a good one. We'll definitely do all that. Appreciate it. Awesome. I'm glad that it was valuable to you, and I'm glad that you were sticking around and sort of understanding what was going on. And Klomba, I appreciate you saying that you're here. Let's go. Where do I send? Oof. I don't know that music person. I don't know. Where could you send it? Where could you send it? Any ideas? Any ideas? If only it says it somewhere in the stream title. Sorry, I need to chill. All right, let's go. Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're witnessing a massive surge.
Okay, so here's the thing. This entire section is really loud, really powerful, and it sounds really good, but then as soon as that kick comes in, it becomes much more perceived quiet. Have a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Super powerful, and then as soon as that kick comes in. So literally sidechain compression kick. Sidechain compression kick is going to make the kick more powerful. I know there's an impact there. Sidechain compression kick. It'll just be much more powerful. Maybe add a crash on top of it. So yeah. Or just decrease the volume of the rest of the intro stuff. But yeah, I mean, the rest of the intro stuff, to be honest with you, it is peaking at... It's peaking at our Fletcher-Munson curve frequencies, yeah? And so when other stuff comes in, we're not going to be perceiving it as loud. So you could decrease the volume of everything else, because vocals are normally around this range, especially those ones, because it's quite high pitch. Or as well as... kick, sidechain, and it's going to make it more powerful. I missed what he said because of ads. What did he say? You're a great guy for doing that. You're welcome, Korean Jesus. The music person asked, what did he said? Because of ads, what did he say? What I said was, read the stream title, that music person, and it'll tell you all that you need to know. Fucker.
we're witnessing a massive surge in gambling addicts, unlike anything we've seen before. From the flashing lights of the digital
sidechain compression underneath that impact. I know it's an impact, just have the kick sidechain compression because it feels so weak and it doesn't need to be.
casino, to the thrill of the spin, it's spreading like wildfire.
This part's really messy. We've got too many frequencies in the same area. Just crossed 330 hours of streaming. Let's fucking go! Yeah, let's celebrate. Check it out. Check it out. Woo! I don't have any celebratory things. All right, so yeah, right here, it's really messy. The reason is we've got too many overlapping frequencies in the low mids and the lows in general. So anything below 90 hertz-ish, fucking cut it, yeah? Cut it all. Everything that's making sounds below 90 hertz, cut that fucker except for one thing. Allow only one thing to have space underneath 100 hertz, yeah? Everything else, cut it. But when you cut it, you might be tempted to do something like this on all of them. Now, the reason we don't want to do like this on all of them is because this is going to cause a build-up of frequencies at this specific thing. Just the way that EQs work, if you cut it here, this will go up. And that's the Pultec EQ, right? So if I were to, for example, duck here, this is actually going to be louder. This is going to be building up frequencies. This is going to be building up frequencies. So you're going to cut it here for one of them. You're going to cut it here for one of them. Cut it here for one of them. You're going to be listening to every single thing entirely whilst the whole mix is playing. You're going to be listening to it and you're going to bring it up until it starts to cut into the actual sound that you're EQing, and then bring it back until the absolute limit to where it starts affecting the sound. And then that is where you're going to have it. And then you're going to do the same thing with all of them. That's what you want to be doing, yeah? I was just going to say that's very muddled with everything. You're in the queue. You can skip the queue if you subscribe. That's why we're listening to Klomba. He just recently came, but he's subscribed, so we're listening to Klomba. He gets to skip the queue entirely. All right, so let's carry on. So that's what I'd recommend. Just EQ it. You can remove it if you want, which would solve it. But yeah, EQ it, and then you get to keep everything you want and can still have the creative decisions that you want to be doing whilst keeping it clean.
Lives are being lost to the lure of the gamble. Families torn apart, and hope.
And once again, sidechain compress underneath those impacts. I know they're impacts and they're really cool. They are really cool. Sidechain compress at least the very beginning of the thing. If you've got yourself a trigger track, just copy little samples into the trigger track so it's sidechain compressed underneath that, even if it's not. Otherwise, if you're sidechaining underneath the whole impact, it's going to be too long anyway. So yeah, and that'll just make the impact of the impact more powerful. It's loops of orchestral drums. Yeah, literally just sidechain it like that. Like I said, yeah, just find where the fucking kick is. Sidechain compress the transient, says Timothy, and that's exactly what I mean. Yeah, absolutely, the transients, the very intro to the impact, the impact of the impact. Should I add sidechain to that? Yeah. So for example, here, these are all. Sorry, let me remove my fucking big head. These are all sidechained to the trigger, yeah? So this isn't sidechained to my drums or my kick or anything like that. It's sidechained to trigger. So that means anytime there is a sound in my trigger channel which is turned off, then the music ducks. And I can choose how long I want the sound to be, because it really doesn't fucking matter, because it's completely silent. So I'm choosing how the side chaining is coming in, when it's coming in, and I can choose what it's ducking under. Maybe I want it to duck under the kick, but then I've got some impacts going on here, and so I just do that, and so it's going to duck underneath every time, and it's going to make those impacts sound more impactful.
Is this the jackpot that will bankrupt our humanity?
So again, we've got EQ issues there. We've just got a lot of mud in the low mids, yeah? So just do the EQing tips that I said, and do the sidechaining tips that I've said, and I'm going to probably stop mentioning it now, because they're the two main things that I'm hearing in this mix so far. Wavy Boy says, what I take from this is for me to uninstall FL and get Ableton. I agree, but only because I've never used FL. You can do everything I'm saying with FL. I'm going to be honest with you. You absolutely can. I just am more comfortable with Ableton. Yeah? Timothy says, got to admire Ableton's workflow for automatic and routing. Absolutely, yeah. But, I mean, I can only compare it to Logic, because I've only ever used Logic and Ableton, and Logic is fucking painful to use. Don't fucking use Logic. It's so fucking painful to use. I grew up with Logic. I used it for like 10 plus years, and then I moved to Ableton for a year, and I'm never ever going back. Fuck Logic, man. Yeah. Take out the lows in every sample I used? Yes. Here's the facts, right? Throughout your entire fucking project, and this is going to be fucking ridiculous, throughout your entire fucking project, as everything is happening, unless you've got a sound that's playing on its own. So, for example, say this is the entire project, and then over here, we've got an effect going on, and you can see there's nothing else happening, then you can keep the subs in that. But if there's other things happening, and they're all fucking layered, there should only be one thing with sub bass at any one time. Only one thing with frequencies under 90, 70, 80 hertz. Only one thing. Now, if you're sidechaining kicks, that one thing is the kick. And then, as soon as the kick is done, the bass comes in which case that one thing is the bass. Yeah? So even with sidechaining, it is still only one thing with sub-frequency. That one thing can be the snare, can be the kick, can be the bass, nothing else. Yeah? Even the vocals shouldn't have sub-frequencies, because you're layering it with everything else. And the sub-frequencies are the easiest thing to get muddied. So definitely one thing at a time with sub-frequencies. And if you stick to that rule, you're going to be having a much, much cleaner much cleaner mix down. Like below 90 hertz, yes. You could do 80 hertz, you could do 70 hertz, because 60 hertz is really where it's at. But yeah, 90 hertz is much cleaner. Timothy says, you know what, Wavy Boy? You should. But if you're still going to struggle with the same things in Ableton conceptually, true. Damn it, Lim, you had to scream. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm hoping that there's some sort of compressor on here. I don't think there is, to be honest. That music person, I've added you to the queue, brother. Thank you for submitting. And if you talk in the chat, whoever talks in the chat more gets their name moved up the queue as well. So I'm sort of prioritizing people that are sort of here with me and learning as much as they can. Damn Stream is finally buzzing with track sound. Oh yeah, brother. Oh yeah, there's about 10 people in the queue right now. And I'm going to probably end the stream in about 17 minutes. Let's continue. Yep. You know, I've got to admit, though, Klomba, your songs are very clean. Not clean, sorry. Your songs are really good. Compositionally really good and sound design really good. You just need to do, sidechaining and EQing a little bit more. Dang 10 people? Absolutely. But you can skip the queue if you subscribe. That's why we're reviewing Klomba's song, because he subscribed. Big up Klomba. Surely I can't review everything in 17 minutes? I think you're right. I'm not going to go overtime.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it.
Okay, so you've got OTT or something going on. What you need to be doing is boosting the frequencies here, 2 to 3K. We've got a lot of frequencies up here. We've got a lot of frequencies up here, but it's not enough frequencies in this area right here. And if you do boost that, it's going to be more present in the mix. And so that's why it's sounding quite quiet there.
Gambling!
So the gambling, that is peaking at these frequencies. The vocals are peaking in that frequency, especially with the bit crusher and the distortion, because it's adding extra harmonics, but the actual synth is not, and that's why the synth sounds so quiet, or is perceived so quietly. Thanks for the follow, Wavy Boy. I appreciate that. I don't got no money to subscribe, so no worries, that music person. If you talk in the chat more than everybody else, I'm going to skip to your song, to be honest with you. Do you use sidechaining plugin or stock Ableton? For me, I use stock Ableton. So let me just move this over here so you can see it. I literally just use compression, trigger, and then onto this trigger channel right here, this track right here, which is off, but it still works as a sidechaining. And so you got full control over the attack, the release, everything. Yeah, me neither. I'm broke, so I just spam. Yeah, fucking spam, bro. Okay, so yeah, my point still stands. Even for these synths here, brother, you're going to want to boost 2 to 3K. This area right here is being missed out. You've got a lot of highs, and what I would recommend, and this is going to take you to the next level. So like a ghost kick, for instance, absolutely, Carlos. That is exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly right. In fact, that's what I've got here as this example. It's literally this kick. I've removed the tail end so I can keep it nice and short and controlled how I want. Okay, so we can spam. Please do, brother. It's really good for the stream. Here's what I'd recommend. Fucking Klomba. Here's what I'd recommend. Cut. At a little over 10K. And what I've got is on the duck. That is to say, fucking everything that is not the drums has a cut above 10K. So this one is actually at 11.4K, but you can move it around, whatever. So what this is going to do is mean that nothing is making sounds above 11K, which you can hear, except for the drums. And specifically, it's going to be the hi-hats that's covering that frequency range, right? And so that's going to, 1, make your synth sound or perceived louder, and then 2, make your hi-hats more perceived louder, which is going to give more groove to the track. Clover, I'm so sorry, bro. Who the fuck is Clover? I'm sorry. Cut everything. Yeah, cut all the frequencies all the way down to 2 fucking hertz. What if I cut the lows above 11K hertz on my mastered? Yes. Would that work? No. Cut the lows above 11K hertz on the so it's interesting you bring that up. So when I do my mastering, actually what I would recommend is very similar to that. I cut all the way up here, so that is actually 16K hertz and above, and I cut on the lows 18k hertz, 18 hertz and below. Yeah, I mean cut the highs. Gotcha. So yeah, if you do that, but only on the master. The reason we're doing this on the master is because we can't hear, or at least I can't hear, above 16k hertz. To be honest with you, I can't hear above 14k hertz. My ears are fucked. But I know that other people can, and so, you know, this area up here, and then all the frequencies above, because there are so many frequencies. This only goes up to 21,000 hertz, but there is obviously almost infinite fucking hertz, right? But if we're cutting it here, that means all those infinite fucking hertz are also cut. And then under here, all these smaller hertz, and they get fucking long waveforms, they're also cut as well. What that means is we've got more space to push it later on when we're doing our mastering. We've got more space in the low end so that when we do pushing and whatnot, we're not going to get a build-up of low frequencies. We're not going to get distortion here. We're not going to get a build-up of harsh frequencies. We're not going to get distortion up here. We're going to get spillover into frequencies we can't hear. And that is A-okay, because we'd much rather have spillover rather than a build-up here, which is going to affect our hearing range, right? This is very much like our visible range, and we'd only care about things that we can see, just like here, we only care about things that we can hear. Especially in the mastering thing, we're going to be doing these cuts before I do all the boosting. We've got compressor, we've got Vastaus, which is like Soothe, we've got Hornet, which is a spectral compressor, we've got a clipper, we've got a compressor, and then we've got a master plan, which is a mastering plugin, which I think is really valuable, and I'd recommend everybody to get it, to be honest with you. But it's not free, so do what you will with that information. I have bought it because I really think it's worth it. Okay, I think I might be able to wait until my song comes. Okay, great. For me, I just don't understand, except for the bass, for example, whether I should boost the mids, lows, or highs. Sometimes it makes sense, so other times it doesn't. Gotcha. As long as there is balance, I guess. Yeah, when I get to your song, I can give you exact, direct feedback. I'm more than happy to help you, Wavy. Okay, so I can do high-end cut on my master. Yes, but only if you know what you're doing, yeah? So if you can hear the cut, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't really be able to hear the cut if it's on your master, yeah? Because you want to be able to hear your hi-hats. The only reason I'm doing a cut here is so that we can hear the hi-hats. This is before the hi-hat. So I'm doing a cut here, and that's cutting it with all the synths. Because if we listen to your song, your synths have got a lot of high-end energy. There is a lot of frequencies at the very top. And so I can't hear the hi-hats, and your listeners won't be able to hear the hi-hats, and the groove is in the hi-hats, so you want to be cutting those extreme high ends. So that's it. I have bought it. Yeah, I absolutely have bought it. I genuinely have bought it. I've not pirated any of my plugins or anything like that. Everything I've either got free versions of, or I have bought it. And Serum I bought, Phase Plant I've bought, Master Plan I've bought, and otherwise, yeah, free versions or free alternatives of things. I have 3 compressors on the master. Gotcha. I don't fucking know why, brother. Ever says brother. Oh, sorry, let me catch up because 16 is very low, damn. I cut 18 to 20 hertz. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. 16k hertz is very low. Yeah, but yeah, Timothy, you got to remember, my ears are fucked. I can't hear it. I think you need to give a masterclass on applying distortion and saturation creatively and for mixing busters. I would love to. Traditional sidechaining compressor is the tastiest, absolutely. I mean, if it works, absolutely. Also, make sure you guys are using accurate equalizers. Otherwise, your cuts and notches aren't going to be so cleanly as you think it does. Yeah, so it depends on your fucking equalizer, but I don't want to confuse too many people, to be honest with you. If you got Ableton, the Ableton built-in EQ8 is absolutely fucking perfect. Lim, I'm moving to Twitch. Oh, gotcha, that's you. All right, cool. While Amel, fair enough. Was it on your master? Yes. But look, so I've got 2 EQs. Let me real quick. This one is on all the synths, and this one is down to 11k. And then on the master, that's where I've got the 16k hertz cut and the 18 hertz cut. Yeah. And then after that, I've got the compressors and clippers and whatnot. Yeah, definitely need to cut that extreme high end because the hi-hats aren't piercing through, and then that's going to give more perceived loudness in this region, which is exactly what you want. And if there isn't enough still, you can literally boost it, and you can literally use this exact thing. This I love. You literally just go like that, and it just sounds better. Do I need to low shelf some frequencies? I don't think so. Yeah, it depends on what it is. Yeah. I mean, in this song, I don't think low shelving is a solution. In general, low shelf. Yeah, I mean, you can low shelf. It is a solution to some things, but I mean, on individual things, I would actually recommend low cutting. And for the thing with the bass, if there's too much bass, then yeah, low shelf would be helpful, like ducking the low end. Yeah, exactly what Timothy says. Yeah, literally, like I said, cut everything except for one thing to have the bass in. Maybe compression on the EQ type shit. Yeah, absolutely. Look, if you, I think, what is it, the Pro QL or some shit like that? If you've got that shit, fucking do that, man. Do that, man. Because then you don't need to have EQ, static EQ over the whole thing. Do you mean like sidechain compression on the EQ on peaks? Is that what you mean? Because if you've got that, that's going to make your mix fucking 10 times so much more clean. It's really, really good. Because then the frequencies are only ducking when they need to, and they're back up again when they don't need to be.
Oh my god, I won! I actually won! I can't stop winning! I can't stop winning! I can't stop winning!
Jackpot!
What?
Compositionally really good.
No.
Okay, yeah, look, compositionally really good, and as always, look, your compositions are really fucking good, your sound design's really fucking good. It's just, yeah, you need to cut the extreme high so that the hi-hats can pierce through. You need to do better side chaining on your kicks and the impacts so that those kicks and impacts punch through. And then on top of that, you need to cut the extreme low end of everything except for one thing, usually your sub bass, which you should have as a separate track if you can, just a simple sine wave. Nice and low, around 60 fucking hertz, yeah? Obviously, it depends on the note. So yeah, around like 40 to 60 hertz, whatever, right? That's the feedback I'm giving you, Clumber. And let's move forward. And I'm actually going to go on to Wavy Boy's song, because Wavy Boy is talking in the chat the most, and I'm only here for 5 more minutes. So we're going to skip to Wavy Boy. Wavy Boy, I really appreciate you talking in the chat so much, man. And just to give you an idea of how many people you've skipped past, so you've skipped past this person, 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 and that's you. That's how many people you've skipped past because you've spoken in the chat so much. So again, I really appreciate it. And yeah, good work, bro. Rip Cowie. Cowie says, it's not my typical music, but I can appreciate that it's well crafted. Damn right it is. Now I feel bad? Don't, because I'm going in literally 4 minutes. Change the kick. The kick's not right for this song. You need to do sidechain compression as well. Do you do sidechain compression? So the problem with this kick is the tail end is too long, right? Let me give you an example. Terrible example, but yeah, this tail end is too long. Sorry, I've this is my default thing. I've got sidechaining on already. Hang on. Okay, so right, really too long, and so you're just going to need to cut it shorter, do a little fade out, and just find where it sounds good. Yeah, change it or layer it. Yeah, I, to be honest with you, I would recommend changing it just because it already sounds too distorted. Yeah, so actually, I've probably got it sounds like these sort of kicks, yeah? And you can see the tail end on this is fucking ridiculous, yeah? So let's go ahead and loop this, and I'm going to show you what sort of thing you should be doing to make it sound better. So right off the bat, it's not the easiest because the tail end is what's giving it the punch, because this intro sound is like a which is just really not a nice fucking sound. Right, so I'm going to turn on an EQ and we're going to see if we can clean it up together. Yeah, it's not the easiest. So it's the high end of the kick. It's called the transients, but the problem is that this one's not very transient. The high end of the kick that is normally really fucking sharp, but with the kick that you've chosen and this kick as well, that is the example, it's too long. It's like a tss, and it just sounds not very good. It's not what you want. And definitely want to remove that lower the tail a little bit. Yeah. Okay, good. You see? Oh, yeah, that sounds like a tech kick. Yeah. What is the synth wave? I mean, what is the dead? Well, I mean, tell that to Deadmau5. Yeah. But that man has the best low-end mixing techniques-ish. Very, very true. Very, very true. Bro is fantastic at mix downs in general. Very clean. He's really fucking good at making music. Understandably. Maybe not comparable. Yeah, true. Okay, but yeah, so yeah, this is that's what I'd recommend. Change the kick. And reduce the tail end of this kick, or change to a kick that's more suitable for this song. Okay, so in my opinion, and this is a creative sort of decision, it's not moving fast enough, right? People have got too little attention spans. We've repeated the same thing twice now with no ear candy. What that means is anything that is variation. What that means is variation, yeah? So, maybe have some more variation a little more frequently. Even if it's just a literal just a filter going on at the end of 8 bars, right? Or even, a filter going down. You could have a bit crusher going down. You can have a literally anything like that. Having some sort of movement is really helpful because you've got no movement so far. Obviously, it's different from the very beginning, but right now you've just repeated a little bit, which is not enough movement. You want a Discord for a bit, Wavy? Maybe I can help you with a bit of trap development. I would recommend doing this, Wavy, yeah? So his name is Timothy. He is really, really, really good with mixdowns and whatnot, and this sort of vibe is his jam as well. He'll be really beneficial for you. There we go. So we've got a noise sweep coming in. That snare roll could be louder, but it's not fitting in the mix very well, to be honest with you. Okay, so overall, you can make that sound much louder. So what you've actually got is this entire thing is, if you look at the EQ, the analyzer of what you've got, is probably looking a bit like that, right? Really big low end, really tiny high end. What you actually want is a more gentle curve. And if you've got an EQ that is 3 decibels down, that is to say a slope at 3 decibels, then it would actually look flat. And that is the same levels as pink noise. You can mix to pink noise if you want. Compare your mix to pink noise. And if the spectrum looks the same, that is fucking good. Yeah, so right now you've just got too much low end and not enough high end, essentially is what I'm saying. Thanks, Apricity. The funny thing is, it changes completely at the end. I changed the BPM completely. Interesting. Okay, well, that's a hook that we're going to have to wait and see for. Welcome, Stevie. Welcome back, bro. I've been doing production since... Oh, he's been doing production since he was 14. Of course he is. Yeah, I have... Damn. Yeah, even those vocals could be louder, and once again, if you just increase the high end of those vocals, it would stand out more. And specifically, if you increased these frequencies, 2 to 3K, of pretty much everything you've done, to be honest with you. But yeah, if you do reference to pink noise, you're gonna be so good, bro. That's okay. So I mean, right now, look, here's the main two things. One, better sample selection beats everything, yeah? So change the kick into something that sounds better. And then two, you need to mix down to pink noise. Pink noise looks like this. Let me show you, actually, because I can show you exactly what pink noise looks like. And if you can match that, then your mix is going to sound fucking amazing. So if you've got Serum, you can literally just go to color and go to pink, and then turn the volume all the way up, turn the level all the way up, and then you just play it. That's what pink noise looks like. This is what it sounds like. And if your mix looks exactly like this, that is to say, no levels going above here, above here, above here, no levels going below here, below here, below here, each synth is peaking at this level, your mix is going to sound super appealing to the human ear. I'm going to look that up for sure. Good. You can literally just download a pink noise from online. In fact, that's what I did and used to use. Literally pink noise. I've got a sample of it, and I would literally, before I use Serum, I would literally just drag that pink noise in. But now, like I said, I use this analyzer, which, by the way, this analyzer is free, so I would recommend it. If you get this free analyzer called Span, completely free, change the slope to 3, and then you could literally just use this analyzer, and if you make everything flat, then it's a perfect mix down. That's literally it. Literally it. As simple as it is. Literally, that's it. It is a nice tip. I'm glad I could be valuable to you guys. These vocals can be louder. Okay, the vibe is really cool, very interesting. These synths are too basic in my opinion. So, what synthesizer do you have? If you don't have Serum, that's okay. If you don't want to buy Serum just yet, I would recommend buying Vital. Yeah, so Vital is a free, almost alternative, pretty much a free alternative to Serum, and it does a lot of good stuff. So Vital, it looks complicated as fuck. That's because it is. It's a powerful machine. Get Vital. And sorry, that's not Vital. My bad. Okay. And already just in the sort of fucking presets, you've got a lot of really good stuff, yeah? But then you can start to learn how to sound design and make your own stuff, yeah? Oh, you use Omnisphere? Sure. Voxengo Span. Yeah. God, yeah, that's exactly it. Voxengo Span is the analyzer that I use that I really recommend, and it's completely free. I've never used Omnisphere, but Timothy says fuck Omnisphere. Look, if you can make great sounds with Omnisphere and you can make them wide, then go ahead and do so. I used to use it 2 years ago. Gotcha. Mood. Gotcha. I suppose here's the beats per minute change. I really like this idea, the kick with the reverb, very techno. I actually really like this section. But again, the synth is too basic in my opinion. And for today's sound design, it's just not where it should be. Yeah, so it needs, like I said, pink noise, put some OTT on that. OTT is a free plugin by Extra Records, OTT. And what that is it's like a sound goodizer, right? So this is what this synth sounds like before. Whoops. And with OTT, it sounds much better, sounds much nicer, and it's not increased in volume. If anything, it's probably decreased in volume. So get OTT by Exfa Records, completely free. In fact, if you've got Ableton, it's already built in. If you go to Dynamics, Multiband Dynamics, OTT is right there, right? And the reason, sorry, let me just remove this. OTT is right there in Dynamics, Multiband Dynamics, OTT, if you've got Ableton. And the reason that Exfa Records has made OTT is for people that don't have Ableton to have access to OTT because of how powerful it is. Yeah, so I'd recommend getting OTT if you don't yet have OTT. Okay. Never go on this site for plugins. Sounds like a free one. I have SFX of Virtual Riot saying it. Gotcha. Just use audio.in. Okay. What you said, put some OTT on that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Classic. It's true though. None wrong with Omnisphere. Sure. Nothing wrong with Omnisphere, but fuck Omnisphere. Sorry, Colin, but this is going to be the last song that I'm reviewing because I need to go to sleep. In fact, is this your sample? Oh, go. All right. Go on there. Is this the sample of Virtual Riot saying it?
It's not
I was expecting the sample. Oh, okay. No, let me send that in. No need. Okay, and we slowly fade out to the end. Okay, cool. So, Wavy Boy, I'm hoping that I've given you a decent amount of value here, brother. Yeah? I'm sending it in for you now. Don't! Yeah, OTT was modeled off of Ableton's OTT. Oh, yeah, but Ableton's is so much better, so much more tools. You reckon? Oh, yeah, that's true. There is so many more tools. That's very true. Lots of info brochures. Yeah, look, more than happy to help. And I would recommend taking Timothy up on that offer to speak to him on Discord, and he's going to give you so much valuable advice as well, to be honest with you. And everybody else whose song I didn't get through to, don't worry, I do these streams once a week, sometimes twice a week, and I find them really, really helpful, and it's nice to listen to everybody's songs and give as much value as I can. Normally the streams are much longer. My last song feedback stream was over 6 hours. This one is under 3 hours because I started a little late. My ribs are feeling better, so I'm able to practice Muay Thai again, so I had a little bit of a workout. I'm feeling good, right? But I am tired, and it's approaching my bedtime post-haste. Yeah, so I am going to go to sleep now. I'm sorry, Columba. I'm very sorry. But look, yeah, everybody else whose song I didn't get through to, I've still got you all here. Yeah, I've still got it here, and here. I am more than happy to do it next stream if you are here. Yeah, so make sure you're following me. Make sure your notifications are on. And on Instagram, I put it in my story when I am streaming. So if you are first in the stream, I will be reviewing your song first. That's it. Thank you for the follow. I will be reviewing your song first. So every single time I put it on my story. So right now on my story, it says that I'm streaming this exact stream, song feedback session, at 6 p.m. And for the first, call it half an hour, there was very few people here. In fact, I think I got my first song submission at like 30-minute mark. So if you're following me on Instagram, which is at limlamofficial, it should be somewhere on the screen. If not, you can ask me in the chat. I'll type it in. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see the story. You can see it nice and early. You can get here perfectly on time. Maybe I'm a very on-time person. You get here perfectly on time, submit a song or one that is still here on the queue. I'll review your song first, yeah? No subscription needed. No typing crazy in the chat. Just be here. Just be here first. Yeah? Okay, so yeah, that's it. Big thanks to everybody here. Columba, don't worry, you've subscribed this entire month, so you're still going to have priority. But obviously, if someone's here before you, then they're going to have priority. All right. Here we go. All right. Okay. Okay, because you did put in all this effort. I appreciate it. Let's have a listen.
Put some OTT on that.
It is a good sample. It is a good sample, and I'm going to take it. I'm kidding. I could take it though. I've actually downloaded it. Well, I guess it's going to be in my songs now. That's it. I don't really have a choice of that. And to be honest, yeah, I probably could. I'd prefer to use my own voice, to be honest with you. All right, anyway. All right, look, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much to everybody that came down. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day or have a lovely night. I'm going to go shower and have a sleep. I could send you most of them EDM SFX. I have like 90 gigs. I believe you. Please don't send them. I want to get into the habit of not downloading anything new unless there is something specific that I want, like a specific vocal in my head that I want to be importing. Otherwise, I try not to download anything new because I think I've got enough kicks. I've got so many fucking kicks, and if I keep downloading them, I'm never going to be able to find a kick that I want. And I think I've got enough snares, and if I keep downloading them, I'm never going to find a snare that I want. I think I've got enough Foley and everything. 4K, potentially. Maybe not 4K kicks, but 4K samples in general, way over. Way over. No doubt. No fucking doubt. All right, look, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I genuinely appreciate everyone's submission and everyone's, being here. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day and have a lovely night if you're going to sleep. And I hope to see as many of you as I can in the next stream so I can give as much helpful feedback as possible. But I can only give it to people that are sort of early or on time because, we get a lot of reviews and I go in depth onto the reviews. Yeah. 900 gigabytes of music on my PC in total. That is nuts, but I absolutely believe it because that's just how producers are. All right, have a lovely day. Klomba, look, you're an absolute G. Thanks for talking in the chat so much, man. And again, thank you for the subscriptions. Yeah, big love. Have a lovely